I'm going to turn this boot into a Minecraft build using a random aesthetic, and I'm really excited.
Okay, I have so many ideas for this boot. I hope we get a good one. I'm so nervous. Biopunk. Oh my goodness. Okay, I can do this. Biopunk is a world where technology is organic rather than mechanical. It's similar to cyberpunk, but replaced technology with plants and genetic engineering. It ends up being a little similar to solarpunk too, but generally it's dystopian. The boot that we're transforming has a lot of lines and shapes on it, which gives me a lot to work with and is part of the reason I was so excited for this object. My first thought was to turn the heel of the boot into a giant plant pot, as if this is the base of the rest of the building and the building was grown out of the plant pot. I also decided to keep the main color scheme similar to the boot. I wanted to tie Skulk into the build, and the cyan terracotta felt like it could be an extension of that. I think my favorite part of the build is my long section of windows. I chose the colors green, blue, and yellow because they felt natural, but also these colors in the game feel a little bright, and again, something that could be artificially engineered. I thought Skulk fit really well into the biopunk aspect since it feels like a living building block. I wasn't really planning on doing any interiors with this series, however, I just had to add in a little bit of a greenhouse inside the boot toe because one, there's windows so you can see right through and see that there's nothing inside, but also with the biopunk, I just felt like I wanted to at least hint at a location where maybe some bioengineering stuff could be happening. I went in later and added a few elements like frog lights, which I thought fit the whole theme very well, and added a few more, at least slightly tech-leaning things. My biggest regret with this build is that I feel like I dressed up the shoe in Biopunk rather than transformed the shape into a building, if that makes any sense, but I thought it would be fun to keep a lot of the fluid shapes from the boot since Biopunk is all about using bioengineering, and to me, it just felt like if you're making a building out of a plant, that the shapes wouldn't be so square. That being said, I still really loved the build. I thought the shoelaces would be perfect for vines, and I thought I could turn the tie at the top into a tree. I debated back and forth, but I decided to make the shoelaces messy vines that spread all over the place, which maybe wasn't the best choice because I really wanted the tree at the top to look artificially made. Since so much of Biopunk revolves around using biological things and making them what humans want or need, I knew I had to put something in the build that said artificial right off the bat. So I made the tree at the top look very basic. I wanted to make it look fake, like my first attempt at a custom tree. So each branch comes straight out of the side of the trunk, and each group of leaves doesn't really spread out, but instead is clumped in a sphere at the end of the branch. And here's the final result.